I'm gonna get back to that story, Sonny. Just, just you listen to Boomer Great One. He's gonna tell you about how it was back in the olden days, back before fire, back when we walked uphill for everything. In fact, we didn't even have a concept of downhill because there was no downhill. Everything was uphill. We thought that was normal. We didn't even have a word for it because there was no alternative. It was uphill all the time. You just need to reach down and grab yourselves by your bootstraps and pull yourselves up, Sonny. Because when I was your age, I bought a house for $25,000. And I made that money on my paper route and bussing tables at the local cafe. And if I could do it, you can do it too. You just need to reach down and pull yourself up and just buckle up there, buckaroo. God, I hate boomers.
I did have real work to do. I still do. It's not that I choose to do something else and then the real work goes away. That's just what young people think. And I use Bing because I don't want Google with their latest, like, oh yeah, George Washington was black, their AI. And you look at the Google search results, it's not getting me what I need anymore. It gets me a bunch of advertisements and sponsors. So I switched to Bing. And I should have just gone to Yandex. Yandex is the new one where, no, here's the stuff you wanted. So you go to Bing, and like any other website, they just think they got to plaster their front page with news articles. And I don't really pay attention to it. I have Yahoo email. It's going somewhere. Don't worry, it's going somewhere. And Yahoo email is the same thing. Like Yahoo, when you log out of your Yahoo email, it dumps you on the Yahoo main page. And it's just F tier. Fucking nobody's articles on nobody's websites. These no-name websites, these no-name people. Just shit. Tons of shit articles just thrown up. Not even clickbaity either. And then you go and find out what, Yahoo is probably a money-losing operation, the hedge fund that was stupid enough to buy it fourth time over. So you find, and then you look at who they're hiring. They're just, I wouldn't be surprised. It's so bad. I wouldn't be surprised if the journalists and these websites are paying Yahoo to run their articles, because the articles have absolutely no value whatsoever. Yet these journalists and wannabe journalist websites are just so desperate to be journalists because they don't want to work real jobs. And that's how simple it is. That's how simple you people are. I'm slamming on you, just describing you. It would not surprise me if these are vanity projects. I gotta be a journalist. I went to journalism school. I need to be a journalist, not a productive member of society. I need to tell other people what to do and what to think, because I was so smart when I was a journalism major at 20. So these psychopaths are, they'll do anything to stay relevant. So I'm on the Bing page, right? And I see this article. Adam Chung, let's look you up, Adam. What, Adam, you spent, I got to imagine at least 2 hours of your finite life writing this article. Seriously, have you evaluated your life choices? It's not what his article was written about. That's not what I'm having a disagreement. It's the fact that this article was written. Adam, what are you doing, man? Even I knew enough. It took a while, but at least I made money in banking. Not a lot, but some. Right? It kept me alive. It was a living. But even I knew after a while, like, yeah, this isn't for me. This really isn't for me. Basically, playing with the taxpayer money. It isn't for me. So Adam Chung is a writer who specializes in sneakers and streetwear. Holy fucking shit. This is GQ, by the way. GQ, really. Gentleman's Quarterly. And I'm not kidding, if you go to GQ, I think the majority or a lion's share, way more than the population is not straight, which is fine. You could be nothing wrong with having a non-straight journalist. But you're not You're not about gentlemen. You're not about men's issues. Offering traveling between UK and Hong Kong. Don't be too surprised you find Adam anywhere in the world. Taking street photography or feasting on local delicacies. Instagram. How old are you? You still? Oh, there you are. There you are. Good for you, Adam. Oh, I'm not gonna log in to look at your LinkedIn. So here's an article. Will skinny jeans ever be cool again? And this is the whole premise. I got work to do. You don't have to be a journalist. Okay. It's okay if the world were to lose about 90% of its journalists. I know we got to come up with a new word for you people who don't report on news. It's not, I mean, yes, in the functional use of the word, you are journaling. You just, oh, damn it. Will skinny jeans ever come back? Let me pen my thoughts. It's not, I think it's journaling, but reporting. It's okay if we were to delineate between journalists and reporters. I think that's what we should do. You guys could keep being journalists because you are journaling, but none of you are reporting. Of all the journalists in the world right now, we only need about 5% of you because only 5% of you do actual reporting. Skinny jeans? Will skinny jeans be? And I'm not slamming necessarily on Adam here. I'm just using this example. Why are there literally, if you were to think about it, thousands of articles written every day on pointless shit? Why? Mine's an economic issue. There's got to be tens of thousands, hundreds of, I don't know how many journalists have to come up with an article, a shit slop article, just to have something published every day that no one's going to read and doesn't do anything for society. Anything. A tremendous waste. And it makes me wonder what, not just for society, but for the individuals involved, what if you did something that was actually productive? What if you became a road construction worker and you built roads? What if you became an accountant? A programmer, a dentist, a dental assistant, a X-ray tech. What if you just stopped and did something productive and useful with your lives? And I know this is a personal thing where it's the tail wagging the dog. That's not an exact application of that phrase, but it's where your desire to do something. You see this with a lot of college graduates. They have that. They insist that supersedes what the real world wants you to do. No, I'm going to be, oh God, even, and journalists, you're not the worst. Musicians, anyone? I need to play the guitar. It's my dream. Yeah, but you suck at it. You're bad at it. You're lazy. You don't show up to gigs on time and you don't practice and you're just not talented. But the tail's going to wag the dog of the world and you're going to insist that the world pay you for your shit art, your shit music. And all you do is you just waste your life. It's my dream. My parents and teachers told me I can follow my heart and the money will follow. No more poets? No more poets. And then if you cared about other people, which I know you don't because that would require selflessness and self-awareness and your role in society, maybe you ought to be a productive member of society, you're annoying. It annoyed me. Maybe that's good. Ooh, you got the Cappy. Ooh, you got someone annoyed. Yeah, it's great people. It's like the people that, block highways. People don't like your shit. It's annoying. It's like spam mail. It's like junk mail. It's like all these girls being asked out by guys they're not attracted to. It's annoying. Will skinny jeans ever? Are you kidding? I had to spend a fraction of a calorie of energy even entertaining the thought. And same thing. And I'm going to make lemonade out of lemons here. Here's just one of thousands of shit articles that don't matter, written by people who don't. You don't matter, Adam. You don't fucking matter. Figure out something to do in life that matters. We gotta see this up on a big. Yeah, seriously, Linux and I don't need my life cluttered with shit. You're like the pop-up menus of websites or pop-up ads that no one ever asked for. Hey, you want to buy this? Hey, you want to buy? Oh my God, skinny jeans. They may not come back. Why are we bothering with this? Why, where? I don't walk around in public and whip my dick out and wave it in front of people's faces. Hey, look, a dick. I mean, that's a bit of an extreme example, but I don't like put my face in, hey, put my finger pointing at their eyes. I'm not touching you. I'm not, hey, how you doing? Look at me. I'm in front of you. And I'm just saying, for about 90% of those in the journalist industry and the 10% who are reporters, you don't have to be a journalist. Really, you show your old man, hey, look what I wrote today, Dad. What's your son doing? He's an accountant. Yeah, he changed his name. You won't be able to find him on the internet. Don't search for his name on the internet. That's a different guy. That's not my son. It's okay if you're not a journalist. We're all okay if 90% of you shut the fuck up and went away with your worthless shit. All right? It'd be okay. You could go mow yards, landscape, roof. You could code. There's other things we will gladly pay you money. There's a labor shortage or a workforce shortage or a work ethic shortage. You don't have to do this. Our websites, our minds, the world, the global mind does not need to be polluted with mundane discussions about whether or not skinny jeans will ever be cool again, or whatever other horseshit articles are written up. And I know. This is falling on deaf ears because it's more important to 90% of you journalists that you have a job in journalism than you actually do good journalism that people will willingly read and enjoy and benefit from. I understand this. This is the tail wagging the dog. This is you demanding the world allow you to have a living doing what you want to do and not what society wants or needs. We get it. Supreme arrogance. Supreme arrogance. If you look at most journalism majors, at 18, they decide the world isn't operating the way they want, so they're going to go and lecture and tell you how to do it. And then now we got this. I don't know. Will skinny jeans come back? Holy shit. Just, I know it's microseconds of a thought, but people are bothered by it, but it adds up, all this shit, what if there was just legit reporting? We got our news. That was it. Hang on. They can't be making money. Who owns GQ? It's one of these dying brands. Condé Nast. Oh my God. No wonder. Vogue, Self, The New Yorker, Vanity Fair, Wired. Condé Nast. I don't know. Condé Nast turned a profit in 2021 for the first time in 3 years. He said this year that revenue growth in 2022, but fell shy of the target. Through advertising is expected to decline slightly this year. Give it up. Oh, yeah. Condé Nast will cut 5% of its workforce. That was November 2023. Business missed goals March 24th. What losses in advertising? Revenue $2 billion. Just could you just shut down? You're not making money. Could you just shut down? Investors can make higher rates of returns on dividend stocks, probably. Just shut down. Stop embarrassing yourselves. I know the ego, like the games journals. Oh, those are the worst. They have been wholly replaced by citizen journalists, citizen reporters, citizen reviewers, actual video game players. And it's the Alyssa Mercantis, whatever, how you pronounce her last name. Go look that gal up. Holy, still trying to be relevant Batman. Just, could you try and exercise in the awareness of other people, that you are not, could you stop being solipsistic? That you are not the only human being alive on this planet, and that there are other people that are on this planet. They're just as sentient and aware as you are, and they don't need to see your shit. It's not that you don't have the right to write. Yeah, you have the freedom of speech, but there's also behavior. There's etiquette. There's manners. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. And you should think of other people before you write shit like this. Do people want this? Is this good? Is this something that's important and germane and will advance society or be of some kind of tangible benefit? And if it isn't, why are you doing it? Why? So it's okay if you journalists go away. If this is what we got, it's okay. And for the rest of you journalists who are like, we just need more of other people's money. If that's your entire journalistic philosophy, is writing articles of why we need other people's money, your job is obsolete. We got the Democrat Party. You're not unique. You're just boring. You're common. You're not having independent thought. It's nothing new or unique. It's just, you can go away too. We'll be all right without you. And maybe you find a better life. Maybe you would take pride in your work this time. Whatever that might be. Hey, I put up some retaining walls. Wow, son, you actually did some of benefit to society. They'll prevent erosion from hitting the house, and we'll keep that hill intact. And the drainage is good too. That's practical production. Hey, here's look, housing crisis, right? Housing shortage. Why don't all you journalism majors go pick up a trade? And then you could actually, instead of bitch and whine about the cost of housing, you could help ameliorate. That means lower. That means lessen the cost of housing. You could increase the supply of housing. You could actually, instead of just saying you're going to make a difference by bitching and whining all the time, you could actually make a difference. Oh, but that's right. Then that would require work. And we all know the real reason you all became journalists is because you're lazy sacks of shit who don't want to work hard. That's it. So, okay, have fun with your journalism. Oh my God. Skinny jeans. I don't know. Holy shit. Tune in later this afternoon. Will skinny jeans ever make it back? Lord Venom, $5. Cappy is so straight that he eats Snickers bar upside down to feel the vein on his tongue. That's a good one. That's a good one. Where the fuck did you get that? Did you hear that someone else? You just tailored to the person who's your target. Oh, Court. Cotter? What's the currency? Is it $1? QAR. But Cappy, not everyone can be a life coach like you. I know. I see, but I never set out to do it. It accidentally happened this way. I had a real job beforehand. You see, that's the weird thing. I've never ever claimed that I got this through skill. This was me just writing a blog consistently for 8 years. And then the technology came along, and then let's do a podcast. And well, here we are. The stars aligned on this one. But if this were to go away, yeah, I'd go do a real job. Truck driver, tradesman, something. But I didn't set out to do this and then make shit slop that didn't sell. And then, come on, tune in to the Cappy podcast. Come on, please. Can you turn in? Enough people like it. Enough people, whatever I do and say, enough people like it, it seems. Dre, $2 Colonelist. What is this work you speak of? Right, exactly. Joe Orbit. Oh, I forgot to look up. I'm going to guess Qatar. Let's look up Qatar. QAR to USD. What is it? Qatari Riyal. Oh, Riyal. Yes. There's the Saudi Riyal. Qatari Riyal. All right. 27 cents US. All right. So that's like $4. Thank you. Thank you very much. Drake, Joe Orbit's $10. It's a validation complex. Okay, here we go. Now we got the psychological. Okay, thank you, Joe. All right. Those who grew up with participation trophies secretly know it was all BS and now seek those same levels of validation with the same amount of minimal effort. But if they know it was all BS, because you must have a more thorough background in psychology or understanding the human mind than I do. If you know it's all BS, then why even do it? If you know it was BS in school, wouldn't you want to then find out something that wasn't BS, like a validation system that made sense? Which, by the way, is your salary, your wage. You get a high skill, in-demand skill, you get more money. So there's validation in that sense. I mean, it's boring, but that's economics. That's how more or less you're validated, at least economically, through society. Is what is your weight? Are you a surgeon? Well, here's a lot of money. Are you some dipshit, skinny jeans coming back? Well, here's your, even She-Hulk, I think the writers got $500 a month in royalties. Like, it was like, here's your shit product, shit results. So wouldn't they say this isn't real? I want to have something that's more, God damn it, really? People are calling me all the time, man. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Wouldn't they want to then get real validation like I have? Or is it they're addicted? They know it. They don't care. They just want that feeling, which makes total sense with Americans because like 80% of Americans' behavior is fake it, get fake feels, go into debt, have fake feels in the fake world of feel good, but your real world is a financial and psychological and real world mess. So they choose to live in a world of lies and continue on with the fake value system of how people celebrate when they graduate from college, but they don't celebrate when they get a job. That's the thing. Well, yay, I work for GQ, which is not what it was in the 1980s. It's a nothing. It's a no name. It loses money. It has no value, or it's breaking even, according to Condé Nast. So there's no value. But look, GQ. Same thing. Like, okay, I'm on the cover of Playboy or Sports Illustrated. That doesn't mean that. Then, if anything, that's worse. Doesn't mean you're beautiful. So it's all horse shit. It's all fake. The Oscars, that doesn't mean anything. The Nobel Peace Prize, that don't mean anything unless it's like actually in the sciences. You get an MBA. MBA don't mean nothing. But they keep doing it because of what? The fake awards? They still think, maybe I'm just too intellectually honest. Maybe the fake praise is better than real praise. Maybe the clicks are better than money. Even then, they probably don't get a lot of clicks. I guess so. You look at what Disney's doing there. Look, lesbian space wars, quite literally. Lesbian space wars. That's what they got now with the Acolyte. You didn't make it. You're not gonna make it. You just wasted another 100 million or so that could have gone to help out some genuinely poor people. You could have actually done some real work with that, but you wanted to masturbate to your space vagina show, and they all like, oh my god, it's amazing, wonderful, and it wouldn't. Y'all you just belong to this big masturbation complex. It's the greatest thing ever. The reviews come in. It's all fake. Is that God? Heaven help us. You might be right, Joe. Heaven help us. We're at a point where a significant percent of the economy is just to make people feel good when they do shit. So when it comes to actual genuine production, like, did you make a good car? No, but it's organic and it's electric and yeah, but it don't work. We waste tremendous resources and our standards of living tank, but hey, at least we all feel good. Well, at that point, just fucking do drugs. Why go through the facade? Why have the infrastructure? Why spend $250,000 making Disney movies? Well, look, if y'all want to feel good, spare the rest of society your shit and just go do drugs. Deadly serious. You want to feel good? You want to ignore reality? Do drugs. Don't drag us through this shit. Don't put this shit up on movies or Disney Plus or on websites. Go do your drugs and then take the money that you would have spent and actually invest and help people. Could be something as simple as adding another lane to a road so people can get home and spend time with their families. You know, the people who have real lives. They could get home quicker. And then you'd still feel good because you're high on shrooms or whatever. I will get government programs. Hey, here's your heroin. Now get the fuck out of the rest of society's way. Dre, $2. You hate church, yet ironically preach online. I don't hate church. I hate certain segments of Protestantism. There's a particular church I'm like, I have to go back to Milwaukee. I will make the news. I will make the news. It won't be in the variety. There will be actual genuine reports to report on. If I have to go back. But no, in general, I do not hate religion. I'm actually envious of people who have a religion because they can think that they believe in the afterlife. There's a whole structure. There's a community. There's a philosophical line of thought. Like, hey, this is how you should behave. There's a community. There's belonging. So I don't hate church. I hate fake church. I hate a born again type of people. I hate, I go to synagogue for the connections, not because I actually believe in Yahweh, I believe is the God there. I hate those posers, but those are hypocrites. You should hate hypocrites all over. But yeah, and the reason I preach online is because all the other fucking institutions have failed. The third generation alpha, maybe the fourth generation of Americans, young America. Keep lying to the young people, by the way. I don't want to have a real job. I preach online because I hate all the generations that I had to grow up with being lied to and having to rediscover the truth on my own about how the real world works, having to sift through all the leftist lying, all the bullshit, all the lies, fucking analog. And now the internet comes at this right moment in time. I could put it up on the internet. The only reason I'm here because I didn't give a fuck. I had enough of the lies. I gave a finger. My first book is giving the entire financial industry the finger. All of a sudden it resonated because, guess what? Everybody else is being lied to. Now we have like this anti-lie industry. I don't know if it's necessarily preaching, but it's like simple, stupid fucking shit. Spend less than you make. Ah! Don't major in dumb shit. Wah! Nobody likes fat people. Wah! Oh my God, what a fucking philosopher genius. No, just a hate-filled man who hates the lies and hates the generation gave it. And for the last dying 2/3 of his breath, or at least half of his life, he's going to expose the lies and tell the truth. Big old finger. So I guess maybe it's preaching. Fine, it's preaching. But it isn't like moral. It's like, hey, you're not doing anything with your life writing about skinny jeans. There, expose the lie. Nonstop Dre, $2 from broken window economy to feel good economy. Gosh, boy, you're not joking about that. Just everyone do drugs. Everyone go live on the internet. Joe Orbit's $5. The logical assumption is laziness, but simply put, it's learned helplessness. After talking with many people, validate my existence is the war cry. Boy, jeez. I'm assuming you're also younger than me too, because you're in the thick of that. It seems talking to many people, validate my existence. Well, they can validate their own existence by making. See, they don't even get to like legacy. What's your legacy going to be when you die? And learned helplessness. They go, see what I don't get. I don't mean to keep asking you questions, Joe. This guy, Adam wrote, he spent 2 hours writing an article about skinny jeans. All right. I estimate. So for an extra 2% energy or 5% energy, you could have done the research or written about something that was important or germane or useful. What I see a lot of that generally leftists, but the whiners and the victims and the complainers and like the tail wagging the doggers, is you put 98% of the effort into producing a product. And if you just did 2% more, it would have been good. It would have been have value. It just from time alone. Let's say Adam switch. Let's just look at a budget of his daytime. He spent 2 hours writing this article. I estimate. He's overweight. Go look him up. He's a foodie, and that's fine. I mean, he's not terribly, but he's over. What if he just went to the gym for 2 hours instead? It's the same amount of time. Yes, I know one requires physical labor and work. I understand that. But from a time perspective, I know you're lazy is the answer. But from a time perspective, that's one thing I know. Look, you're putting in the work somewhere. You're wasting, I would say, your time somewhere. It's still costing you your time to build a shitty bridge is still taking you your time. So why not take that time, add an extra 3 or 5% to do it right, and now you have a good bridge and you have something to point to. Like putting up retaining walls, not to go back to that again. You have to put down and compact a base. Most people just want to just start stacking rocks. Okay, fine, but if you took the extra, depending how big the retaining wall is, hour and a half, 2 hours to get a base down, then that retaining wall should last you the rest of your life. You never have to redo it again. If you don't put down a base, it's going to sink. It's going to shift. Now your retaining wall has to be done again. You have to work twice as hard. If you're going to, in other words, you're going to put in all this time and effort into being a Condé Nast writer. Why not go do real journalism and write for yourself and have much more value, integrity, worth, and benefit to society, arguably for the exact same amount of energy and time? Green, $5. Ironically, Cappy does preach a majority of Christian principles including ONG marriage, as the government should not be involved, and many others. Well, okay, they're not necessarily Christian principles. They are principles. Religion, among other reasons, forms to create law, right? It is a natural evolution coming out of, we got to organize society and have civilization. Otherwise, we're going to have anarchy. So you find very similar commandments among the different religions. Don't kill, don't steal. I don't know about the other ones. Don't covet the other guy's wife, unless she's hot, then you can covet her. All those rules. And they rhyme, or are very similar, or identical. And that's not coincidence. So before the religion came along, there were already calls for having certain principles of society-wide. And you don't need to be Christian or Muslim or Jewish or Buddhist to identify, let alone endorse these rules. It's just common sense if society is going to operate. And so you should have these principles and ethics, not because you're a good person, but because that's what's best for society and your long-term interests. And so if I preach things like don't steal, stop being a lazy sack of shit, well, hey, that's what Muhammad said. Well, yeah, there's a reason they all said the same thing, though. I mean, because it makes sense. I like me some of that Muslim stuff where it's like no debt. That'd be a nice little 11th commandment all the other religions could use. I like that no debt stuff. But it's not because I'm Muslim. It's because, yeah, that makes damn good sense. There's the good, compelling economic arguments for that. Dre, $2. Church of Cappy. In Carlson, we trust. The Carlson Companies is no more. It's just a management firm. It's not a trust fund, but it's a fund now. 5N4K. Oops, sorry, I got to click on it. $5. When you have no visible accomplishments, you make some up. Good observation. It's participation trophies applied to everything because they have nothing. Yeah, it's like participation trophies in the adult world. Have you ever read a LinkedIn resume of like activists or nonprofit workers or journos or any one of these left-leaning nonprofit, non-private sector, non-working types? It's all bull. Like you look at their whatever accomplishments, or they have an awards, like won the Circle Jerk Off of 2017 award, runner up to Farty McPoopyson's upcoming journalist award, third place in writing. You look at like, this is so fucking sad. You all come up with these fake awards. So you could, in what, 8th place? What? Fuck off. Wrote book, made lots of money. There, that's an accomplishment. Nonprofit academic school gave me award. Latest upcoming feminist journalist in field of, like, oh, fuck off. All those fake awards. Nonstop Dre, $2. The Holy Trinity of Cappy Church. Truth, reality, and hate. Yes. Yes. Unlike Trigon, love and peace. Love and peace would also be in there. Those would be goals. But one cannot achieve love and peace without truth, reality, and hate. Hatred against the liars. I should write my own Bible. Be all flowery and amorphous. Oh, you meant this. No, just read Schopenhauer. There it is. Dre, $2. DT's Cappy's Judas for his betrayal. DT is not Judas. DT is a good man. He's just not a good friend. And he's not a bad guy. He's just not a good friend. It's not it's just like, yeah, friends kind of need each other every once in a while. Like, okay, fine. All right. No, that's your choice. That's your life. Just go and, and it like Dre, let's say, for example, you and I used to hang out, and then this happened to my best friend at one time. He just got a girl and got tired and didn't go out no more. Now, did you do something or my other friend do something bad to me? No, not at all. Do I still like these people? Sure. But like, if you don't hang out no more, what's the point of hanging out? I don't have time to you ask a girl out on a date. She says no. You ask her out 3 or 4 more times. She says no. You're going to keep asking her out on a date? Like, you're just wasting your time. You got to move on. You have to invest in people that reciprocate investment in you. But it should never get to the point where your buddies, your male friends, you got to like, did you reciprocate my investment? This is like, fuck that. Really? Nonstop Dre. MJ is Cappy's Eve for not giving him pinup photos. No, she did. She did. You could go see them. They're up over on my Subscribe Star. Search Aaron Clarey Subscribe Star. They're there. You got to pay $2 a month to get them and access to the Road Trip podcast. Again, ladies, I will pay for other pinups, okay, because it benefits me financially. So, ladies, if you're interested in put PG-13, no rated R shit, okay, just cute pinup, whatever, bikini. I had one gal like just dress 1950s and make a thing of cakes or cookies, 1950s housewife porn. Fully clothed. Dude, that's hot. She made me cookies. So yeah, if any girls out there like, oh, okay, there you go, fine. 5N4, $2. Don't half-ass 2 things. Whole ass 1 thing. Yes. Bart Simpson, $2. Today's National Donut Day, Homer's favorite day. May I go get a donut? Dre, $2. Great one is Cappy's Adam. His podcast is 10 out of 10. And then Ross the I didn't know Gilligan liked the Braves. That's not the Braves. It's the what the hell is that? It's my favorite logo. I don't the Blackhawks hockey. Yeah, it's a really cool logo. I like the colors and everything. Joe, oh whoa, hang on. Getting ahead. Killer Bulldog, $4.22. Did you see Mexico's new leftist president woman? I don't pay attention to American politics. I don't pay attention to Mexico politics. I knew they had the Obrador guy who was a socialist, and now I guess they got an even more socialist in, and 37 people were assassinated this election. She is a leftist. She's the first female left socialist, feminist. Yep. Okay, good. Congratulations. Did she say she was going to give you free shit? Gee, I wonder if Mexico is going to grow to become a super economic power now. Oh, free shit, did you say? And my knowledge of Mexican history and politics is very limited. But if I recall, it was the PRI, People's Revolutionary. And tell me if I'm wrong here. That was back in the 1910s, 1920s, right? They had a revolution, and it was for the people. Logically and obviously so. Over 70 years, the PR became the dominant, corrupt political institution. And it just became a group of politicians. How do we get it? Okay, fine, you got democracy. How do you stay in democracy? Promise the people free shit. And now Mexico is at about $17,000 US dollars GDP per capita. You could have had it all, man. You just, if you all stop voting for free shit, and replace that with hardware. I don't want to hurt. Fine, then fucking fine. I'm not kidding. The fucking cartel should just run Mexico. They should. Like the mafia ran Sicily, right, in Chicago. They should, because they get to look, just stop paying any taxes to the government. Let the cartels do their thing. The cartels will have enforcers. Don't bother cartels. Stay the fuck out of the way of their business. Right? Somebody fucks around, the cartels get, hey, there's trouble in our neighborhood. That's bad for our business. And then all of a sudden the guy's gone. What happened to Jose? I don't know. He was bothering those neighbors. But then the cartel caught wind of that, and then Jose went to the work camp in the sky. It'd just be more efficient. Maybe a little bit more ruthless, but it'd be more efficient. Joe Orbits, 20 generous dollars, less super chat so Cappy can enjoy life. But in summary, it's a lack of humility brought on by the comparison between themselves and others. Okay, good point. They've never been humiliated. They've never had shame. We need more Mike Rose and Cappies as role models. Right, so if they've never had shame, they don't have a negative reinforcement, actually go and do something good. Heck, their value system is just press. It almost would be like the rat experiment. The rat presses the thing and gets a rat pellet or gets some water. They don't understand why they get a pellet, why there's value. They just hit button, get thing. They don't understand, oh, you got to do value or economics or work or sacrifice or the exchange of time between human beings via currency, and that you have to produce something to get the money from other people. Right. It's just, they are robots. No wonder they're all a bunch of NPCs. There's increasingly less and less thought I see among younger people. Like, and logic, A equals B, B equals C, therefore A equals C. No, you're fat phobic. What? I guess it's just a perpetual feel good. Your average black dude, 7 generous dollars. Pedro for president. We're giving up in the West, and it's spreading worldwide. There's MGTOW, red/black pill, and in Asia there's lying flat, rotting hikikomori. Yes, as feminism spreads and technology spreads and things get easier, people are working less, they're doing less. The men I understand, because being one, like, look, if we ain't getting laid, we're not going to have, if girls aren't going to be part of the life, you want to reject, that's what motivated men for, 65% of their waking days. There's food, clothing, shelter, and then there's girls. You take that off the table or make it very difficult to pursue and get, yeah, men are going to give up. And the silver bullet that really put a torpedo in all these societies is prawn. They got prawn now. It's like, oh, what? Go to a nightclub, work up the money to go to a night, ask to get a girl pregnant, work hard to pay for kids. Nah, prawn. No one gets pregnant jerking off to prawn. That's the, like, nah, I'm not gonna go. Nah, I'm not gonna work harder. We will all find out together where this road leads, and it will be glorious. It'll be glorious. Average black dude again for 14 generous Canadian dollars. Not North, the Asian movement 5 no's. In the Asian movement, 5 no's and 10 no's. Youth, meaning no blood donation, marriage, children, buying houses, lottery, stocks, funds, helping elderly, or being moved as a big fuck you to the system. That's wow. There's 5 no's. No blood donation, financial donation, marriage, children, buying houses, lottery, stocks, funds, helping the elderly, or being moved. Wow, that is, somebody sat down and figured out, how do we get some choke points on this economy? That's good. Hey, the faster this happens, the quicker we get back to a more equitable society, which would be similar to pre-1965 America. You want to enslave your children? See what happens. You want to lie to your children? See what happens. You want to tell women they don't need men and indoctrinate them, turn them into feminists, and pit one half the population against the other? See what happens. Just go fuck around and find out. Dre, $2. When's your orgasms per capita book coming out? Not for a while. I'm cruising now. I do this shit in the morning. Look, I had to do a video, and it was 44 minutes because some idiot wrote an article about skinny jeans. I'm going to go to the gym. I got to go to the coffee shop. I gotta do a little bit of internet work. I got to answer an email. Then I got to go to the gym. It's going to be a nice day, so I might go for another hike. Then maybe I go play poker today. It is. It's so sad and pathetic. I got to go play poker, and I got to go to a coffee store and eat and write. And then I got to go to the gym. Maybe I'll go for a hike. It's so sad. So write the book. I gotta do Chad's course, which I'm just dragging my feet on that. I gotta schedule a flight out to Japan and Thailand again. That's gonna be a mission. It's gonna be a mission. And yeah, so writing books isn't that's not on the. Didn't I write one? Yeah, I did write one last year. I've one every 2 or 3 years. You don't want to be banging out books every year. You flood the market. People don't have time to digest the previous ones. So I don't know. I just kind of want a normal life, but I've been going redline. I don't even know what a normal life is anymore. Ross the Skunk, $5 slowly. I've learned being in a hole makes life tolerable. Being in a hole. Why? Again, you don't have to do another super chat there, Ross. But why? Because you're like when I was living in the basement, because that's all I could afford, it forced me to be a minimalist, and then there was less things to worry about. So my happiest times was living in that basement. Oh man, I remember get that big old bottle of wine, like what something Farms or some shit bottle of wine. I just drink wine and play Medal of Honor for an entire weekend. It was great. It's great. Average black dude, again, 7 Canadian. While women's content is how to get man obsessed with me, consumerism, materialism, claiming victimhood and oppression, and how to get a man with all sixes. Yeah, but is that, again, you don't have to more super, in I know that's here in the United States, but also Asia? Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll binge on some Asian sexual economic podcasts while I hit the gym. Dre, $2 again. Cappy's gym equals a women's shelter. Wow. Dre, Jesus Christ, man. Holy shit. Dre, when you get out of the military or whatever you're doing right now, maybe you ought to go do some stand-up. Maybe whoa, just wear some armor when you go up on that stage, man. All right, I don't know what the hell's linked below. Worthless. That's right. The young person's indispensable guide to choosing the right major. To you young people, don't have a life where you're a journalist, a modern day journalist. That's not a life. It's not an accomplishment. You're not a human. You're not a contributing member to society. You're a thing. You're an entity that just is, I don't know. It just sounds like such a boring, horrible life and career. All right, that's it. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.